You're listening to Healthcare Now Radio. Stand by for This Just In, the latest in healthcare innovation and technology trends with your HIT advisor, Justin Barnes.
Thank you for tuning in and welcome to This Just In. I'm your host, Justin Barnes. In these our segments, I'll bring you the latest advancements in healthcare, strategy, innovation, and public policy. As always, we're broadcasting from the This Just In studios on the Business Radio X network, as well as the Healthcare Now radio network. For this episode, my 160th episode, we have a special show dedicated to covering the Georgia HIMSS annual conference that is just around the corner on October 16th. My guest today is Sepi Browning from the Georgia HIMSS board. Welcome to the show, Sepi.
Thank you so much. My pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great to be able to catch up. And full disclosure, I'm also on the HIMSS board, but I have to brag on Sepi a little bit. Sepi is the most amazing board member you could ever have. If you're so fortunate to have her on your board, she is one of the hardest working people you ever come across. And I actually thought you were so hardworking. I actually thought you were a paid member of the team. I just learned in the last board meeting, no, Justin, I just do this because I love it. And, you know, you're dedicated to the cause. So thank you for all you do, Sepi.
Oh, my pleasure. Absolutely. I really think a lot of our organization and of our members, and I think it's just teamwork. I really do enjoy it and love everyone that we interact with and work with. So thank you for the compliments.
You got it. You are amazing. I mean, literally, I'm not exaggerating. Sepi does so much work. She's in the middle of every email. And for people that sit on boards, and a lot of my listeners do, you know, when you're in the middle of everything that the board is doing, that's pretty amazing. So you are terrific. But we're here to talk about the Georgia HIMSS annual conference that's coming up shortly. You're obviously in the center of that as well. So thank you for your volunteering and dedication there. And I am extremely excited. Not only we're going to cover the tremendous lineup, the biggest one that the conference has ever had, but this is shaping up to be the biggest conference the South has seen this year. We usually have the Health IT Leadership Summit, but that I think it went 7 or 8 years, and I was a part of that. And I always did a radio show describing that event, but that one decided to go off, and it did its thing, and it's done. But the Georgia HIMSS annual conference is now the big show. And what's really cool is a lot of the speakers and a lot of the energy and the collaborators have all shifted to that conference. So I'm excited to talk about it. I know that you know all about it because you're in the middle of it, but it's exciting. It's October 16th. But tell us a little bit about the logistics. I said you know, when it is. It's coming up on October 16th, but where? And let's go into some of the logistics for the event, Sepi.
Absolutely. It is going to be held at the Cobb Galleria in Atlanta, Georgia. But, Justin, I do have to pause and just give out some kudos. The board members that own this annual conference are Jeff Buda and Dee Cantrell. Yes. They are the co-chairs, and I cannot move forward without giving kudos and recognition to them as well.
Yeah, no, they've been terrific, really helping all of us. I know that I help with only one track, but there are a lot of tracks out there for the conference and some just phenomenal speakers. This is not only the largest annual conference, actually maybe the largest state-based annual conference in the country under the HIMSS umbrella, but this is certainly the biggest one in the Southeast with the most new speakers. I think that's what's really cool is sometimes you go to these conferences and they're the same speakers, you hear them every year, every other year. There's like 90% of the speakers are new. We've never heard from them before. So
absolutely. That was one of the things I wanted to also talk about this year is we got so many fresh speakers and a lot of them are in our community. It just demonstrates how much a wonderful community we have in the state of Georgia, how many wonderful people that have a lot to bring to the table. So, yes, it's going to be a very exciting year.
Yeah, so true. And I know we have some people even flying down from Boston. Dr. Brian Jack, who's a patient experience expert from Boston University, is a good friend of mine. He participates in my think tank, but he actually accepted the invitation, so he's flying down. So we have people flying in to speak at this event. But I don't want to jump too far ahead because I know we got some really big people to announce as well.
Yes.
But how many people do you expect this year to attend?
We're expecting around 500, 550 people for sure.
Excellent. Great. And what's a little bit of the history of the annual conference?
Well, I actually was looking that up today, and this is going to be our 12th annual conference.
Wow.
So we are exceptionally excited about that. And year after year, one of our major themes is collaboration. Mm-hmm. And I feel like more than ever, we are representing that statement.
Yeah, I completely agree. Even from how it was created, but then also the breadth of attendees, and then even reaching deep into having, like I said, I think 90% of the speakers, ballpark, are new and we've never heard from them, at least in this setting. And then a lot of them, are even, are stepping up to collaborate more with our community, which is also very exciting. So I completely agree.
Absolutely, yes.
So who usually attends the annual conference?
We have a large population of our providers that attend, and also, obviously, a lot of our vendors. However, one thing that I want to bring up in regards to that is this is not, because it's our flagship event and we take a lot of pride in this event, providers attend this event for free. So this is one of our opportunities where obviously the members and the chapter wants to give back to our community. So we are highly anticipating a big attendance of our provider community. It doesn't matter if they're a member or not. This is, again, something we really want to give back to our community from an educational and networking perspective.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was just reviewing the agenda before we went on air. And I mean, from an attendee perspective, and certainly for providers, we're going to be covering, best practices around value-based care, interoperability, patient engagement, innovation, virtual care, really all what is driving healthcare forward and strategies to be successful. We're covering them with some of the biggest experts in the Southeast, but also from around the country. So, I mean, this is going to be, and what's really neat, I noticed it's very well balanced. So again, kudos to everybody that went into worked on this process. It's balanced between providers, care providers being on these panels, but then also IT directors and innovators and CEOs of those companies. So it's very well balanced from people who are actually driving the front lines of healthcare, providing care, on the very front lines, but then also the innovators creating these solutions, and then the IT individuals who are implementing and needing to support these strategies. So it's really the entire continuum, and that kind of goes back to you talk about the collaboration. It's collaborating at every level. So it's really cool.
It is. It truly is. Yes.
So what participants usually get out of attending the annual conference?
Well, you covered it right there in a grand scale. From a basic level, we offer nursing CEUs for our clinicians out there. We offer HIMSS CEUs for folks and IT professionals that want to maintain some variety of credentials. We offer networking. And as you mentioned, with all these new faces, it's even a better year to come and meet and greet and get to know people that you typically don't get the opportunity to do so. And one step further, what you just mentioned about all these different aspects of educational opportunities, we got it broken down in 4 tracks. And because of that organization, I believe we're able to present and have the opportunity of so many different educational opportunities. And as you all know, we have track 1 is our executive leadership track with CHIME, and I know we'll get into that in a minute. And then we have a healthcare information technology track. Then we have a healthcare financial track. And then we have a clinical informatics track. And that just helps round out everything that we all, in some fashion, interact with in our healthcare community.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. So people can, to learn more, I think the website is GAHIMSS.com. Or you just go to GAHIMSS.com, and they can actually see the 2018 agenda. But it's extremely impressive when you look at what the panels are about. what the tracks are about, the panelists, the moderators. I mean, just extremely rich in content and education, and obviously the speakers that we'll get to here in a second. But obviously we target outside of Georgia, correct, for attendees, or we just kind of push people to the local chapters? How does that work?
We do market and collaborate with our partnering HIMSS chapters at our borders. Okay. We partner on multiple events with them, and we encourage and provide this to them as well. Again, as mentioned, there is no difference if you're a member or not, or whether you are local to Georgia or not. We want this event to be taken advantage of from anyone in our healthcare community.
Yeah, that's terrific. And I want to echo that, just because a lot of people used to attend the Health IT Leadership Summit, and I want to make sure that people know that that is not happening this year. And this is going to be the event that takes it over, that really absorbs a lot of that membership and all that content and thought leadership. So for all my listeners, a lot of us have attended that Health IT Leadership Summit in Atlanta every year at the Cobb Galleria, actually. This is taking its place. So we're absorbing all of that. We've already absorbed the speakers and a lot of the content and just built that into our normal flow for the annual conference. But and we would draw from all over, from Florida and Tennessee and Mississippi and Alabama and North Carolina and South Carolina and Texas. And again, our speakers are coming in from all over as well. So yeah, this is going to be a great event. What is the theme this year, and what are some of the initiatives that we should discuss?
So speaking of collaboration, and a little play on words, but our theme is putting the care back in healthcare. You can't do it without us, and it being IT, representing IT, without our executives, without the analysts, without the finance team, without IT doing what they're doing. If we don't all collaborate and talk about what we're doing, the end result is not going to be useful or of any value to anyone. And ultimately, we're all in it for our patients and for our caregivers. So I think when we collaborate, what comes out of it is even more valuable. And that's what we're trying to bring to light with our theme.
That's excellent. I had not actually heard that, so I love it. That's very clever. And for those of you that are joining us a little late, my guest today is Sepi Browning from the Georgia HIMSS Board, and we're discussing the upcoming Georgia HIMSS Annual Conference on October 16th. Be sure to join us there. So let's dive into some of the really cool stuff. So tell us about the keynote speakers, who they are, and what they plan to cover, because it's exciting.
Absolutely. We got a long list. So I'll start off just following our agenda of the day from an approach perspective. We start off the day with our distinguished guest, Governor Nathan Deal. Wow. He's going to be attending and kicking off the morning for our attendees. So that's a very exciting opportunity for us all. Yes. Then we're going to go into our morning keynote speaker, Dr. Brian Hill. And I think you can help me with that one a little bit, Justin. But he's going to be our morning keynote speaker. And we got a little glimpse or a little taste of what he can bring at National HIMSS last year. Yeah. And that's when Dee Cantrell actually got to meet him and loved, collaboratively, we kind of loved his speaking style. Yes. And also some of the perspective and experience he brought. And we reached out to him right then and there and said, what are you doing on this date? And you need to be with us. So that's kind of how that happened. Yeah,
Dr. Hill, just 2 minutes on him or 2 seconds on him. He's a very close friend. I actually chair the board of his company. And actually this all happened I didn't even know that you guys had offered that position to him when I accepted his board position. But yeah, he's a great speaker. He's rethinking healthcare. He is rethinking how we practice care and how we engage consumerism and creating really neat, innovative care models here in Georgia and expanding it throughout the Southeast. So yeah, he's a great guy as well, but also a great speaker. Very innovative.
And then we break out into our breakout sessions. So we got 2 breakout sessions in the morning. And as we're entering into lunch period, we got two guest speakers there as well. The first one, we were very surprised that he was able to find some time, but we're very happy to have him, is the president and CEO of HIMSS, Mr. Hal Wolf. He's going to be joining us in the midday speaking point or opportunity as well. And when following him will be our midday keynote speaker. His name is Jason Lesandrini, and he's going to have an approach or conversation with our attendees about ethical considerations for healthcare professionals. I've had the opportunity to see Jason speak as well, and he is full of energy. He is one of those ideal speakers, and during lunch period, we're all going to be eating and having a long day, and Jason will bring light and bring so much knowledge, and his presentation style will be very welcoming during, our midday efforts.
That's excellent. No, very excited. When I saw his name come up, I was, I totally agree with you. I saw the energy in him, and I think that's going to be a great speaker for that time period of the day. So.
And following it through, we're going to round out the afternoon with two more breakout sessions, and then our CIO panel. Those individuals are being finalized, but it's probably safe to say that we got some wonderful CIOs on our board. Patty Lavely, Jeff Buda, Dee Cantrell, Jeff Brown. And so it's pretty safe to say that they'll probably be a part of that. Yeah. And they're also reaching out to some of our, local or partnering organizations as well, and try to get involvement from some more CIOs.
Yeah, no, a lot of innovation, great ideas, and great thought leaders there for sure. And just that rundown of speakers and guests in keynotes is just amazing. And in full disclosure, I'm actually going to miss this event just because I have been invited to the Vatican to meet the Pope. And so I had to cancel my last invitation because of HIMSS. Actually, I did my radio show live back in March out at the annual conference, and that's when I had my first invitation to meet His Excellency. But I had a live day, and I couldn't reschedule all those guests. That was HIMSS, and I had to turn it down, but I just got my second invitation. I'm like, I probably won't get a third one. So I better take this.
No, that is not something you pass up. Right. No, you'll probably have many of us in thoughts and spirits with you. So this is a great opportunity. We're very happy for you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I'm very sad that I'm going to miss. This is just, watching this event shape up, my eyes just lit up. You even see Nathan Deal, our state governor is going to speak, which is amazing. And Hal Wolf, the CEO of HIMSS, is coming to speak. And then just literally, Dr. Hill, Brian Hill is an amazing speaker. And so just the whole list is, by far, that blows away, anything that we put together, even with the Health IT Leadership Summit. This level of speakers and just all in one fell swoop in one day is unparalleled. And I'm pretty sure that's pretty unparalleled nationally. This is the lineup that you do for the national HIMSS, never mind a state chapter. I know we're one of the biggest state chapters, but this is just amazing. So.
And I have to say it again. Did I say it's free for our providers?
That's excellent.
I just hope people can block some time on their calendars and join us. I really don't think anyone will regret that.
No, I would guarantee they wouldn't. When you're actually looking at the list of content, and if they just go to georgiahimss.com and they go through and look at the breakout sessions, this is all about transforming care. How do we help the people on the front lines of healthcare today? How do we make our systems better? How do we innovate? How do we use innovation? Best practices around systems. Literally everything: patient engagement, consumerism, digital health, predictive analytics. Every aspect to what all of us are working on a daily basis is covered in this one day. So check it out at georgiahimss.com. I'm going through it now while we're on air, and even it's extremely impressive. But give me a couple minutes on the scope of opportunities at the event. You mentioned CEUs, University Row, but go through some of those items again, please.
Absolutely. So just to revisit the CEUs, and anyone that's a nurse out there knows that you have to go through a different level of approval. So we are eligible to offer 7 CEUs for our nurses. And then also those same CEUs are good for folks with CP HIMSS certifications or PMI certifications, etc. So we're offering strong CEUs. And then we have 2 areas in our main grand ballroom where all the booths are. We have 2 areas that we're referring to as the University Row and our Innovation Row. University Row is going to be representing our educational institutions that offer programs for healthcare IT students, professionals, anyone that wants to go into health IT. So we're going to have Georgia State there and some other partnering institutions. So on University Row, you'll be able to visit those groups and have conversations with them if you're wanting to do something different or get more information on those type of opportunities in healthcare IT. On our Innovation Row, it is for our startups here in Georgia. So they might not have the funds or the opportunities right now to sponsor a booth or some other sponsorship opportunities. However, these are our partners are folks in Georgia that are trying to grow, and we wanted to still offer them an opportunity to be involved with HIMSS, with our membership, and communicate what they can bring to our Georgia State. So we have a little area there as well for our innovators and our startup companies. And this is our second year. We're proud to announce our second year of partnering with Chime for our executive leadership track. They bring a wealth of knowledge with their speakers and the content that they offer to the executives in our community. So that's another thing that we are repeating this year. And this is not so much an educational opportunity, but for all of us, it's always nice to have a way, we're all dressed up on that day and we're all looking our best. We will also have an area where you can get professional headshots done, whether it's for your LinkedIn or if, you're a speaker at some event or just trying to pursue opportunities in your career. It's always nice to have a professional headshot, and we're offering that service as well for anyone that, needs that for their own personal need.
That is brilliant. I have not seen that, and that is a terrific idea, because even me, I have my headshots, but I haven't had them updated in probably 6 or 7 years, and it's time to have them updated. So that's excellent. So I guess it's not too late to sponsor. People can sponsor right up until maybe the week or two of. Is that correct? Absolutely,
absolutely. We are continuously looking for support and partnership, and that information, as you mentioned, is on GAHIMSS.com as well, so that they can get a complete picture of the prospective and what their opportunities might be, and it's never too late. I just have to say thank you to our current sponsors, because if it wasn't for our community of sponsors supporting the initiative, supporting the chapter, we could not provide such educational opportunities for free to our providers.
List a few of those.
So this is a complete partnership.
Who are a few of those sponsors?
Well, give me 1 second and I will share. We, as always, we have we have Comcast, and we have Comcast Business, that is, Conica Minolta, CDW, CAPSA, Azalea Health, Innovate, NetApp, Middle Georgia State University is on our University Row, QTS, Spectrum, NetPlanner. Mercer University is another one on our University Row, PC Connection, Telmed IQ, SWC, Tiger Connect, ServiceNow, SPH. I don't want to leave anyone ever out. Heron Health Law, GSU, Innovate, M-Modal, Ingenious Med, and I believe I mentioned everybody. If I left anyone out, please know that it was not intentional, and we sincerely appreciate every single one of you for what you do with us.
Yeah, no, that's an impressive list of companies, though. That's fantastic. Well, here, let's actually probably not gonna real quickly lightning round because my show is gonna wrap up here in a moment. But I always like my last part of where do you get to go to get inspired? What's your favorite place to get or be inspired?
I'm not a person that likes quiet places or go find a little place to read. I'm just like to stay involved, whether it's Boy Scouts, because I'm very involved with my Boy Scout community, or whether it's my healthcare community. I like to stay involved and active because I get inspired by the people around me and what they do and what they say. So that's how I get my energy. So that's kind of how I am.
That's terrific, Sepi, and you inspire me, and I love to collaborate with you. So thank you very much for everything that you do, and thank you to everyone for joining us today. And please tune in weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific to hear our latest shows. As always, you can track me on Twitter at HIT Advisor and use the hashtag ThisJustinRadio so we can respond to your comments from this show. If you missed any of this episode or want to hear more, all my shows are always posted at Apple iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Google Play, and TuneIn. And also check out the new website that we've launched at justinbarnes.com. Thanks, everyone. Have a terrific week.